Hello, welcome to Alyssa Jean's live chat with wine for December 2023. Welcome to Maddie Jester and Brendan Neil Howes already in the chat. So, you guys are already talking about Doctor Who. We will not be talking about Doctor Who. I just could never get into the show. I don't know. My brother's the same way. He just could never get into it. I see it all over my Facebook feed and YouTube feed, and everybody's talking about it. And apparently, there's a trans character in the new iteration. That's cool. I just could never get into it. So, Maddie wants to guess the wine, type of wine that I'm drinking. So, when I first started doing these, I was keeping it somewhat classy. You know, I had wine that was like halfway decent, like somewhat respectable, and it has devolved over the last couple of years to the point where I was just getting all this cheap ass Costco wine all the time. And now it's really devolved. I've just gotten to the point where it's just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna get a box. I'm just getting a box wine this time. It's not bad. I mean, it's drinkable and it's cheap, and you can get a shit ton of it. It's fine. As for the particular type of wine, you are incorrect, Manny. It is not a Malbec. It is a classic Cab Sav. But I've been the Cab Sav Queen too many times, so not the Cab Sav Queen. You can't put Alyssa in a box, but you can put wine in a box. This particular brand, Provisions, I've never had that one before now, which is why I got it. I was like, oh, I haven't had that one before. I mean, it tastes like all the other box wine, honestly. Well, I'm not going to be talking about Doctor Who because I don't watch it, but I don't know what to talk about. This is the one of the live streams that I come into having no plan whatsoever. I have no idea what I want to talk about. I started watching this movie last night, and I was like, well, if I finish watching it, maybe I'll talk about it, but I didn't finish watching it, then I still have to finish it, so I can leave your world behind. Is Julia Roberts in it, or Julia Roberts still did acting? Like, I thought she was long retired from acting. I haven't seen her in anything in like 20 years. But I think it might be a Sam Ishmael movie because at the beginning it says an Ishmael production, and I could totally see it because from what I've seen so far, it's got some very Mr. Robot-esque themes to it, but I've only seen like the first 20 minutes, so don't really have much to say yet. I need to go back and watch it. I was hoping I would watch the whole thing and so I can give you my spoiler-free thoughts on it, but can't. So, yeah. So what are you talking about? The synthahol, the Shate cardboard that Brandon was drinking, or my box wine? Because it is not synthahol. It is made right here behind me in my wine cellar. Just happens to be in a box. It's not synthahol. Definitely not from a replicator. What was the movie? Maybe that question was a little delayed because I did already say that. So, yeah, what else? What do you guys want to talk about? I'm just gonna sit here. How long are we gonna sit here and stare at each other across the neutral zone? I'm not even really drunk yet. Oh, I think I just made my camera a little blurry. I might have spit on my camera when I did that. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully that's a little better. Oh, hello, Will Ferrell, number one. season's greetings. So, Will Ferrell, number one, do you get really into Elf this time of year since that's your name, your screen name? Um, yeah, Maddie asks, have you done Christmas shopping yet? Uh, sorry, I was just looking at Brandon's message too. I'll read that in a second. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet? I don't do Christmas shopping. I only get anything from my parents if I go to them on the East Coast. Otherwise, they get a card. My brother, who lives here with me, not live with me, but lives in the same city as me, we don't ever exchange gifts either. Although now that he has a little baby daughter, she's getting gifts. I'm only getting gifts for her. Otherwise, with my siblings, Mark included, it's kind of a mutual. We don't get each other gifts. Although I would, if I were to go like to the East Coast, I would get Mark a gift too, because we'll do the whole present opening ceremony and all that stuff we would do as a family. And if I were there for it, I would get gifts for people so that we could be a part of that. But I'm not gonna mail stuff like I'm not gonna mail my dad's socks through the mail or some bullshit. Like whatever. So yeah. Brandon's asking, you're really confusing Clue. Are you talking about my picture clue from yesterday about my number one? Is that what you're referring to? Will Ferrell, number one, asks, do you like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was always a classic for me. Yeah, it was always a classic for me, although when I watched it relatively recently, it wasn't quite as funny as I remember it being, but it's still a classic for me. Home Alone, the first one I used to love when I was a kid, when I was a lot younger, and it hasn't aged well for me. Home Alone 2, I've never particularly liked. I mean, it's one of those movies that make sequels from the first one and just kind of repeat the same beats over and over. And this time he's like in New York. I mean, no, Home Alone 2 sucks. Home Alone, yeah, I liked it when I was a kid, but it just didn't age well. I don't care for it anymore. Let's see. And it was Endgame all along. Well, I can tell you it's not Endgame, but I don't hate that episode the way that my brother does, but it's definitely not in my top 100 either. Yeah, I cannot say right now, Maddie, whether you got it right or not. I can't say. I saved that for when I actually do my number one video, which will be out next Friday. I still have to actually rewatch the episode in question, though. I need to rewatch it. So I always rewatch it. I go through, take notes on everything so I can do like a beat by beat recap of the episode. I still have to do that. So I don't know if I'll get around to recording it tomorrow. I might end up recording my video Monday night to get it out by Friday. So yeah, Will Ferrell number one. I asked you a question though. Do you like Elf because you're Will Ferrell number one? Yeah, I think my favorite Christmas movie of all time was probably Scrooged, which I did a what do you call it? A nostalgia lane for that last year because I watched it for the first time in a while, and that movie held up for me. That held up. I still kind of love that movie. I always like the various versions of the Christmas Carol. Like there was the Muppets one, and although the Muppets one was a little later, but when I was a kid, it was the Disney one. And I actually had like a book and a record album for the Disney one. Anybody remember those? Like those little like what do you call those 45s? And they were like little records, and you can listen to stories. And they always did movies. Like there was always like the condensed version of Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of a Jedi and Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was my first introduction to Raiders of the Lost Ark. My mom wouldn't let me see the movie, but I could listen to the condensed version on the little record album with the 45. Like, why? Why couldn't I just go see the movie? Yeah, John Glover. Who's John Glover? Name sounds familiar. Which one is he? I just watched Scrooge last year. Maybe I'll watch it again. Maybe it'll become a new annual tradition. I'll watch it again this year. Yeah, in general, I've not really been a Christmas movie type person though. Like Christmas movies, I don't know. Yeah, no, just not in general a Christmas movie person. I think I have said this before, but I believe one of the most overrated movies of all time, if not the most overrated movie of all time, is I'm blanking on the name of it now. The hell's that called? A Christmas Story. Yeah, A Christmas Story. The you'll shoot your eye out or whatever, and I double, triple dog dare you, and like I don't know. Maybe it was you had to watch it by a certain age to find it hilarious because I remember like the kids at school used to talk about it and quote that movie all the time, and I had never seen it before. And then finally I watched it, but I think at that point I was like maybe 14 or something, and I was like, eh, why is double dog dare you and triple dog dare you so hilarious? I don't find it that funny. Like, and the lamp, the dude, like, I don't know what's so funny about this movie. I think it's like the most overrated movie of all time. It's not that good. And then I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life because I don't like Christmas movies, and I'm sure it was original at the time, but since then, like, there's been so many knockoffs of It's a Wonderful Life that I've seen it, and I don't feel like I need to see the original. I don't know because answering Brandon's question, why wouldn't your mom let you see Raiders? I was 6 when it came out, and I guess I was too young for it. It was too violent, or I don't know. But then they did. My dad took me and a couple of my friends to see Temple of Doom in the theater, so I guess I was old enough now at that point. But Raiders, I was 6 when it came out, and it was too violent for me or something, I guess. But I could listen to the record album. I don't know. It was so weird. It's like so weird. So being in the southern hemisphere, Christmas movies weird me out. No, Brandon, going to the southern hemisphere weirded me out. That one year that I went to New Zealand for Christmas, and they had a statue of Santa Claus wearing shorts and sunglasses. I'm like, what the hell's? And it was like summertime. I was like, what's going on here? This is like so weird. Let's see. Maddie says. Oh, John Glover, the guy who played Dax. Okay, yeah. The guy the guy who was in Deep Space Nine. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, Maddie Chester says Santa Claus, the movie is on TV here every year, the one with Roddy McDowall. It's even at my local cinema. It's kind of boring, to be honest. I don't even know what the hell that is. Roddy McDowall, wasn't he from Planet of the Apes? Yeah, I've never heard of that movie. Santa Claus, the movie. Not an original title, I'll tell you that. I don't know. But again, I'm not a Christmas movie person, so I was explain my ignorance in that area. Let's see. Never seen an indie movie. At first, I thought you were saying you never seen like an indie movie as such like an independent film. And I'm like, so what's the big deal? But you're talking about Indiana Jones. Whatever. I mean, I know people who've never seen any Star Wars movies. I mean, whatever. I mean, only Raiders of the Lost Ark, and my brother disagrees with this. My brother says Raiders of the Lost Ark is overrated, but it was a great movie for the time. Temple of Doom was a little I don't know. It got away from the formula. It got too much away from what made the first movie great, and then the third one got back to the formula, and so the third one may be the best one, the one with Sean Connery in it. And then Crystal Skull, I watched it. I got the DVD like a year or two after it was released, just out of curiosity, and it sucked. And and the new one, I'll probably do the same thing. Maybe not a DVD, but once it's on like a streaming service, maybe I'll watch it eventually in a year or two. But just out of morbid curiosity, but really have no interest in it. It's just trying to, I don't know, just pump out the cash, just making useless sequels. Do you like the actor Wallace Shawn? Wallace Shawn, you mean the Grand Nagus? Sure, sure. Um, let's see. Seeing a bunch of independent cinema in the 80s and 80s. I assume you mean 70s and 80s, or you mean 80s and 90s. Let's see. Matty Jester. It sucks the corporation takes over making Santa toys and they suck and break all the time. Santa saves the day. In the end, Roddy McDowell is the head elf. It's lame with a capital L. Yeah, that does sound lame. That does sound pretty lame. Not as a Ferengi, no. Inconceivable. Yeah, of course, that's his well-known role is from Princess Bride. Yes, I remember he was a regular guest star on the Cosby Show in the 80s too. I think that's where I first knew of him. I think when Princess Bride came out, I was like, oh yeah, that's a dude from the Cosby Show. Like, he was on the Cosby Show a lot. He had this reoccurring role. I forget exactly who he was. It was a neighbor or something. I don't know, but he was on there, or maybe another doctor that Cliff Huxtable worked with. I don't remember, but that's where I first remember Wallace Shawn from. Yeah. Oh, Brandon was saying you didn't know Wallace Shawn not as a Ferengi, or do you like it? You don't like him not as a Ferengi. Okay. Yeah. He was fun in Princess Bride. That was a great role. Well, we can always get some mileage out of some 80s nostalgia on this chat. What else you guys got for me? At least I'm not munching on crackers this time. I already had my crackers before I went on. Refill. A little box of wine on the side here. 80s and 90s, yes, that makes sense. Let's see, guys. I'll have to watch a Christmas movie. I'll watch Bad Santa or The Night More for Christmas, if I have to watch a Christmas movie. Bad Santa, was that the one with Billy Bob Thornton in it? I don't know if I ever saw that. Nightmare Before Christmas, another overrated movie. But again, I mean, it might be because I was older when it came out. I don't know. I remember like my nieces and nephews through my ex, like, and when they were younger, they were really into it. But I think I watched it for the first time actually when I was at their house, like with my not nieces, just two nephews. Sorry, two nephews through my nephew-in-laws because they were like through my ex, and I think I watched it at their house and I was like, this movie's not that great, honestly. Do you like Spaceballs? Not an 80s movie. Or I'm sorry, it is an 80s movie. Not a Christmas movie is what I meant to say. Not a Christmas movie. You're getting off topic, but I'll answer the question. And yes, of course, I love Spaceballs. I think one of the best parody films of all time. Haven't seen it in a while. I should go back and watch it again. I think at one point I was considering it for a nostalgia lane, but I never got around to it. Um, I went as Bad Santa. The work party, no one got the joke, but it was a low effort costume. Those are the best kind of costumes. Low effort. May the Schwartz be with you. Okay. Ow, that made my head hurt. uh, what else? You guys haven't watched this, like the Santa Claus or the Santa Claus, with Tim Allen in it. The Claus, with an E at the end of it. You haven't watched that, have you? That looks terrible. Polar Express creeps me the fuck out. Like it's just so the animation is just creepy. I can't deal with it. What else? Can always count on Will Ferrell, number one, to come in and liven the conversation. You always have topics on hand. Whenever I get, sometimes you come in with topics when I'm already in the middle of talking about something else. I don't have to be like, whoa, hold on, let me finish talking about what I'm talking about, and then I'll get to your topic. But comes in really handy when I don't particularly have any topics, and you just keep throwing topics at me, and I love that. Sleigh ride. What's Sleigh Ride? I don't know what that is. Like Sleigh, like a horror movie or something. Remember last year the dude from Stranger Things? What's that movie called? Where he was like action hero Santa. I'm already forgetting. It wasn't called the Sleigh Ride, right? That was a different movie. What was it called? It was called what was that movie called? The one that came out like last year with the dude from Stranger Things. I'm gonna have to Google it. And what's that actor's name? Guy from Stranger Things. What was his name? What is it? David something, right? Jim. Yeah, his character was Jim Harbour. What was his name? David Harbour. Okay, so David Harbour. All right, I'm off my screen. Does anybody answer it in the chat? Violent Night. Yeah. Violent Night. That's what I was thinking of. Which was funny watching Scrooge in the opening scene. They have like a scene from a Christmas special that is on the show that or on the network that Bill Murray is an executive of, and it is like Violent Night. It was like a parody, but I remember like laughing about that. Yeah, Ernest Saves Christmas. I don't remember if I ever watched Ernest Saves Christmas. I think I saw Ernest Goes to Jail, but I just remember getting really annoyed by him. He was in those commercials before he had movies, and those commercials irritated the fuck out of me. So I just had no interest in the movies. Like that character just irritated me. Let's see. Oh, hi Norman. Welcome. We're talking about Christmas movies. Star Wars Holiday Special is peak TV. I saw that recently. Was that 2 years ago? Because I went on a date with a woman to watch that movie post transition. So I was Alyssa at the time. So it was maybe 2 years ago. And we went and it was playing at a local theater. But they cut out a lot of it because I wanted to watch the pitch meeting for it, and the pitch meeting had parts in it that we didn't see. Like they cut some of it out, and it was hilarious. Like we just got really drunk. We just drank a lot of beer and got really drunk and just laughed our asses off. It was hilarious. It is so bad. I don't like the term "so bad it's so good," but I do like the term "so bad it's hilarious." Like that was hilarious because it's still bad. Bad is bad. Even if it's hilarious, it doesn't make it good. It's still bad. But that's how I think of the Star Wars holiday special. The pitch meeting for the Star Wars holiday special also worth watching. Carol Kane, definitely my all-time favorite Ghost of Christmas Present. Yeah, Yeah, love Carol Kane. Movie. Can't believe she's still around and on Star Trek. Like, was she in her 80s now? And she's a chief engineer. Good for her. Like, love Carol Kane. She's probably not in her 80s, but she's been around a long time. She was in Taxi. Taxi. That was in the 70s when she was in Taxi. She's got to be old. All right. Anyways, um, let's see. Fun to watch. What do you mean by that? Are you asking if there are certain bad films and episodes that I find fun to watch? Or are you quoting, like, because Mark always used to say, and I have talked about it too sometimes, but Mark always used to talk about how people will say an episode of Star Trek is fun. Like, take me out to the holosuite. Oh, it's fun. No, it's not. It's terrible. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Um, I hope Carol Kane doesn't have an unfortunate ending, to make room for Scotty. Scotty he's like what, an ensign now, or was he Lieutenant Junior grade? Like, he's a long ways off from being chief engineer. I think Scotty can be the chief engineer by the end of Strange New Worlds, like not like next season. Although he could be an engineer, but not the chief engineer. I think that we might get a Spinal Tap drummer type situation where the engineer just dies every year. And then at the end of it all, Scotty will get to be engineer, chief engineer, I should say. I don't know. Let's see. So bad it's good, and then back to bad again. Ghost World. Was that a movie? I think I vaguely remember that. Was Steve Buscemi in that? That sounds vaguely familiar. Santa and the Martians I liked when I was a kid, but I could not watch that one now. I don't know that one either. I don't know. Well, I want you guys to give me topics because I don't have any, but I do have to admit the Christmas movies has become tiresome because I don't like Christmas movies. So, anything else? I don't know. Just not a huge Christmas person in general. I'm not a Scrooge. I'm not going to ball humbug you. Like, if you want to celebrate it, that's great. I just don't really care about it that much unless I actually went back to the East Coast, which I don't ever do anymore because it's too stressful and too much. Yeah, it's a crazy time of year to travel, and my family's all stressed out. So I haven't gone back to East for Christmas in the last few years. But if I do, and then I will celebrate Christmas. Otherwise, like, I just live by myself. I just don't care about Christmas that much. I will probably go have dinner with my brother and his wife and my niece. The brother you guys don't know. um, we'll probably do that for Christmas Eve and do a little Christmassy thing, and I'll give presents to my niece. And she's not really old enough yet to appreciate it, but she's getting presents anyways. I got her a couple presents I'm personally pretty happy with. I don't know how. I don't want to say it because I don't know. I get paranoid. It's the wrong person sees it, and then I don't want to get back to my brother. So I'm not going to say it, but I'm proud, and I'm getting her more stuff too. So yeah, I'll celebrate, and then I'll probably get more into Christmas now. I'm going to have this little niece. She gets older, and she's going to start appreciating Christmas more. I will get more into Christmas, but I get into it more for other people than for myself. Like, for myself, New Year's Eve, much, 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 much bigger deal for me. New Year's Eve is the holiday that time of year for me. Especially post transition, I really love dressing up in a sparkly outfit and just looking really sexy and hot as I can, and I love going to live music shows and looking around at all the other women who are also, like, dressing up with a lot of sparkles and glare, and it's a lot of fun. But even before that, even before I transitioned, New Year's Eve was still the holiday for me, where I just always like going out to live music and having a great time. So I went hanging out with my friends. Last couple years, my friends have this all night party at their house, and yeah, we rage all night, and it's a great time, and I love it. Um, so New Year's Eve, bigger deal than Christmas for me personally. Okay, let's see. Let's go back into the comments. You guys are probably still talking about Christmas movies. Um, Muppets Christmas Carol. Yeah, that's fine. Tiny Tim with his little hat. Yeah, Muppets Christmas is fine. Don't consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. Many forget that it was really originally released in summer of 1990. Oh, you're gonna go ahead and open that can of worms, huh? Like, so it's been a long time debate whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and it is not a debate. There is no debate. Die Hard is objectively not a Christmas movie. It is objectively not a Christmas movie. It is not a movie about Christmas. It is a movie that happens to take place in Christmas. So by that logic, so I guess people would say the Hawkeye show that came on Disney Plus last year is a Christmas show. Uh, so um, it is not about Christmas. It happens to be taking place around Christmas time. That is it. This is not a debate. People who think it is a Christmas movie are morons. It is the dumbest debate of all time because it's not really a debate. There is no debate. It is objectively not a Christmas movie by every definition of a Christmas movie. Okay. Anyway, see, Norman, look what you did. I'm bringing that up. Was that Norman or was that Maddie? Let me go back and look. Oh, it was Norman. Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Yeah, Lethal Weapon, Die Hard 2. Yeah, Lethal Weapon's a Christmas movie. Yeah. It's so stupid. Like, this is so dumb. Okay, anyways. Type 2 takes me away from Christmas drinks I used to like around Christmas, spiked hot chocolate and hot toddies, Baileys, etc., but they're all full of sugar. Oh, you've got diabetes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Never really into those drinks anyways. I do get into some eggnog with and without alcohol. I actually haven't gotten eggnog yet this year. I should go get some eggnog. Eggnog. Don't know why I said it like that. Bailey's hot chocolate is pretty great. I have been known to enjoy a snifter or two of those. A snifter. That must be a British term. Yeah, Bailey's is fine. I never got into it that much, to be honest with you. Let's see. What else? Eggnog is overrated. I've always loved eggnog. I've always loved eggnog, so I'm not going to agree with that. Good with a little rum in it as well, or whiskey, but rum's better. No, it doesn't inherently come with booze. You have to add the booze, Maddie. It just a drink you buy at the grocery store. It comes in like milk cartons. Says eggnog on it. Some brands are better than others. For many years, I would only drink the silk eggnog, which is like the vegan eggnog, which is not as thick. It has a good flavor to it, but it's not as thick. And part of the appeal with eggnog is gonna be nice and thick, but not too thick. Yeah, but it's really good with rum or whiskey. I got really drunk on Bailey's Irish Cream in my youth. The tram ride home made me nauseous. Yeah, I can imagine so. I imagine so. Thirsty? Yes, I imagine so. Um, oh, I don't know, Brandon. I don't feel like getting. I don't know. Like if it if it were like I don't know, really thick. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Um, what else? Discovery got an official release month. I don't think they got an exact date since I saw you guys last. As did House of Dragon got at least got a season release, like a season. House of Dragon is season 2 is going to be in the summer sometime, so we know House Dragon's coming out in the summer. Discovery's coming out in April. I was thinking it might be earlier than that. I was thinking like February or something, like around when Picard came out. But April. It makes me think that everything's being pushed back. Like Prodigy is doing its own thing over on Netflix, so who knows when that's going to come out. But as far as the Paramount Plus ones, I think you're going to see them all coming out a little later. I've heard people who think Lower Decks is still going to come out around the same time. I think it'll be a little later. I'm looking at October for Lower Decks, which would be the latest it's ever come out. That is my prediction. And if it comes out in November, I wouldn't be shocked. I think Strange New Worlds, potentially, if we get it in 2024, maybe like December of next year. That's my prediction, anyways. And then that Section 31 movie come out in the latter portion of the year, November, December, October, maybe even, but definitely the latter part of the year. And then the Starfleet Academy show is definitely a 2025 thing that's not coming out. Still waiting for that announcement of Star Trek Legacy. I mean, that's inevitable. Come on. I saw a YouTube video once of this dude who like claimed to have known somebody on the inside, kind of Paramount Plus or CBS All Access, as it was called, who told him that the whole thing about how the fans demanded Strange New Worlds and all that like was a load of shit, and they had always planned to have a Christopher Pike show, but they intentionally got the fans riled up and excited about it, and then was like, "Oh, you guys made this happen," but they were always planning to do it. And then that person said, "I am certain that this is the same thing for Star Trek Legacy. That it's always been their intention to do it, and they're just going to make it sound like, oh, you guys demanded it." And I am absolutely in agreement with this person without even having this source that he claims to have. I think that is 100% what they're doing, because they were very clearly setting up for a spinoff. I mean, they had the crew all set up. They even gave Jack Crusher a uniform and said he's a consultant or whatever nonsense bullshit reason they gave for him to be there. Like that, clearly setting up for a spinoff, and then they're going to say, "Oh, you guys demanded it. Oh, we're only doing it because you guys wanted us to." Like, come on. So I believe it. I definitely believe that Strange New Worlds was always a plan, and so is Legacy. So we're just waiting for the announcement. Let's go back and see what you guys said in the strike. Now the actor strike has ended. In the chat, I was reading Maddie's message at the same time as I was trying to talk. See what you guys said in the chat. Maddie says, now the actor strike has ended. They are filming the Michelle Yeoh Section 31 film soon. I look forward to that. I love Michelle Yeoh. Yes, they will start filming it at the end of January. And as I said, I anticipated by the end of the year. So far, only Discovery has been announced for next year. I suspect Prodigy Season 2 will be spring or summer. Yeah. Since Prodigy is on Netflix, it's hard to say because it's separate now. But I would imagine probably spring or summer as well. I'm a Discovery guy. The seasons have been up and down, but it's been a net benefit to Star Trek. Yes, I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that hill with you. I'll die on that hill with you. Cheers, Maddie. In fact, when I did a little video when it was first announced that Discovery was being canceled, and I essentially said that. I said Discovery's legacy is putting Star Trek on the map again, bringing Star Trek on TV back. Not the fucking movies, but Star Trek on television was revived because of Discovery. Like it, love it, hate it. You cannot deny that Discovery is the absolute reason that Star Trek is back. It is back big time on TV, where it belongs. Other than a couple of films in the 80s, Star Trek is not a movie story. It is not for movies. It is for television, and Discovery is what brought it back. So yes, Manny, I'll go die on that hill with you. We can drink some wine or beer or whatever you would like to drink as we die on that hill. Okay. Strange New Worlds will be 2025. I'll be shocked if it comes out in 2024. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of optimistic people who are actually making it who think that it can be out by 2024. But who knows? I'm going to say December 2024 is what I believe. They're also going to start filming that in January as well. I was thinking, damn, what streaming service do I have to subscribe in order to watch House of the Dragon? Sorry, that's horseshit. Wait, what are you talking about? What's horseshit? I'd say one of the longest run cliffhangers, but remember Twin Peaks took 26 years. Oh, I never got into Twin Peaks. Jack Crusher is what do you mean, Brandon? Did you not watch Picard season 3? Okay, let's see. I don't want Trek Legacy and hope it outshines Picard as series easy. I do want. Okay. I was about to disagree with you. I'm like, what do you mean you don't want it? Like, why would you not want it? I hope it outshines Picard too, and I think it will. Will Ferrell number 1 says, speaking of Christopher Pike, I'm getting a Mego Christopher Pike action figure from Amazon. Oh, cool. Cool. Lego. I'm assuming you mean Lego. That's how I'm taking that. It's Lego. Let's see. Captain 7 of 9. I'm here for that. Me too. Me too. It makes no sense that she suddenly was a first officer, but whatever. Who cares? That's fine. Whatever. It's TV. Whatever. I like Michelle Yeoh. I'm only okay on the Empress Mirror Giorgio. No, I think that was a great character. I think I probably have the. Why I'm blanking on the name of it. It was in my top 25. I think it was my number 25. The two-parter in season 3. I loved that. That was great. And that was a great character. Section 21 was ruined in Discovery. I'd rather not have the movie, but yeah, I'll watch it. I'm glad it's a movie and not a show. When they were talking about doing a show for it, I'm like, why? Who wants to see a whole damn show? Movie? I'll check it out. We'll see what the movie does. I feel like less disappointed if the movie sucks, because if it's a show, then I'm like, and I feel like, do I need to just keep watching this thing? Or can I skedaddle? Like, I've never left a Star Trek show since I stopped watching Next Generation after season 2. And then I came back to it, and now it's my favorite show. So let's see. We need to find out if Captain Patel survives the Gorn infection. Yeah. Isn't it Patel with a P? Or maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. The Kelvin universe keeps being teased, never happens, but we may see an older Kirk we ever saw Shatner in the movies at the rate things keep going. I posted an article a few months back on my Facebook page that I 1,000,000% agreed with that says that it's time to let the Kelvin films die. Let them die. Nobody wants them. The films are dead. Star Trek belongs on television. Let them die, and I am 1,000,000% in agreement with that. There should never be another Kelvin Universe movie ever again. Let them die. Okay, now, next comment. Yes, I watched Picard season 3, but I got my Jack Crushers mixed up. Don't you remember at the end of he was on the bridge there, and they gave him some lame ass excuse for him to be there, which is dumb, but that was clearly setting up for a spinoff. I mean, come on. My niece is nearly a year. She'll be a year in January. In January. So she's almost 11 months. See, I totally thought Jack Crusher was not going to be Picard's son, but they pulled the rug out from under me. The accent was real in the end. No, I mean, it was, to me, it was pretty obvious he was his son. I mean, come on. All right, good job, guys. We keep the conversation going. We're already at the 46-minute mark, and we've been talking the whole time. And we got off that fucking Christmas movie topic. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of Christmas movies. So don't bring them up again. Let's move on. What else? Oh, he was Aragon in that dragon movie. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Those are books I never read and films I never saw. So I didn't realize that was the guy who played Jack Crusher. Okay, fill up some more wine. Give me a second here. Well, no, I don't want to talk about Christmas songs either. Let's just move on from Christmas entirely. I'm just like not that big into Christmas. I'm not a ball humbug person, but it's just like, okay, we've talked about Christmas. Can we talk about something else now? I don't know. What else? What else? What else shall we talk about? Anything else with Star Trek? I don't know. I already talked about Discovery. I don't think we've gotten any other news. And he showed us another trailer. I don't know. I'm just not that excited about season 5. It just seems like, I mean, they describe it as an Indiana Jones-esque season. My favorite episodes of Discovery are the ones where they stand around talking, like which are rare. Like I don't want some action-packed bullshit type thing. Let's see. Now that you were at the end of the top 100, are there any regrets? Like, I should have put that one higher. Oh no, no. Because I did my top 100 before I made any of the videos, and any of the oh no, that's too high or that's too low type things I did before I made any of the videos, or at least before I made the video for it. There's a couple cases like so you know how I was doing those featured episodes for a little while where I would just pick 5 that I would talk more about. So I would rewatch each of those episodes. There's a couple cases where I would move up the episode after I watch it. What is it? Not time zero. Harry Kim, not Timescape. The one with Harry Kim. I watched that, rewatched it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move this up. This is a lot better. So I moved it up a few spots. So as I was doing it, I moved things up or down. But once it's done, it's done. Like I don't have any regrets after that. Happy birthday, Michael Dorn. Oh yeah, I saw that today. I was gonna mention that in the live chat and I forgot. So thank you. Happy birthday, Michael Dorn. Hopefully today is not a good day to die for you. I don't know what other lines are good. There's probably a better Worf line I could quote here for him. Kapla, Michael Dorn. Kapla. I don't know. Timeless, yeah. Timeless. But all those time episodes with the word time in it, I get them all mixed up. Yes, timeless. Um, let's see. There are now 2 Doctors, which is pretty wild, but Disney Plus wants spin-offs, so I'm fine with it. The episodes themselves I liked a lot. You're not talking about Doctor Who again, are you? Please stop. I don't watch Doctor Who. You guys could talk about Doctor Who some other time. Let's see. I know the answer for your picture clue, but not fully sure what the unique spin. I look forward to hearing about it. Okay. Yeah. Maddie brought it up earlier. Maddie had a guess. I cannot say whether he was correct. Liz Scott also had the same guess, and I cannot say whether she was right either. I have to wait. You have to wait until I do my video, which will be out next Friday. Then you'll find out. Let's see. I'm ignoring all the Doctor Who talk. What else do you guys want to talk about? If you guys are talking about Doctor Who, I will end this stream right now. I will turn this car around right now. I know I'm being kind of a bitch today. I'm like not letting you talk about Christmas movies anymore, and not letting you talk about Doctor Who. What are we supposed to talk about? Christmas movie conversation was good for a while. I'm just kind of. That's enough. I can only go so far talking about Christmas anything. I've reached my limit. Let's see. Yes, 2 Vicks. Yeah, Norman's right. I liked 2 Vicks. 2 Vicks. Yes, I liked it too. My brother and I have a disagreement on that. He thinks that episode 2 was better, and 2 Vicks was okay, and I thought 2 Vicks was better, and then episode 2 was okay. So the 2 that like aired together. But whatever. Yes, I have. I have spoken. It's my live chat, and we can talk about what I want to. Okay, let's see. 2 Vicks was not a good written episode. Similitude was much better in achieving what 2 Vicks was trying to do. Yes, that is what I've been saying all along. I get really irritated when people say, like, oh, Janeway brutally murdered the guy. Like, you fell for the contrived writing. It was contrived writing. Okay, what else? Let's see. Similitude beats all the 2 Vixes, hands down. Yeah. Well, I mean, comparing it to 2 Vix and Lower Decks is like apples and oranges. They're 2 different things. What else? Let's see. Kate Mulgrew disagrees with the premise of Janeway murdering Tuvix and continues to say so at conventions. Well, I mean, one might say, of course, she would defend her character, but she's right because it's contrived writing. Like I love Mark's point. Mark's point is that how come in Enemy Within, the Enemy Within is like the reverse Tuvix, where it is one person split into 2 instead of 2 people combining to 1. And nobody's saying like, "Oh, we're murdering the bad Kirk. We're murdering him." Like nobody said that because that's dumb. That's dumb. Any more Star Wars shows out soon? No. The next one to come out is probably going to be Bad Batch season 3. which I don't know when it'll be out. Maybe the first half of 2024. I'm not sure. Um, I would reckon that'll be the next one. Mandalorian season 4 will not be out until at least 2025. Um, what else is there? Andor season 2 supposedly may not be out until 2025 now, which whatever. Ahsoka season 2 hasn't even been officially confirmed yet. But there's going to be Star Wars Acolyte, which takes place in the High Republic era. That could be out in the first half of the year. I'm not sure. Skeleton Crew supposedly won't be out till the end of next year. I remain unexcited about Jude Law with a bunch of kids. Let's see. But if you don't know what to discuss and you admitted that at the start of the stream, what choice do we have? Your choice is to talk about things I want to talk about. Like, that's your choice, damn it. Not Doctor Who. Christmas movies was fine. I'm not begrudging the Christmas movie conversation while it lasted, but after a while, I was like, okay, we can move on now. Like I've just exhausted that topic. Let's see. One can make a case for two Villanas and faces no one has. Oh yeah. Yeah, they murdered the other Villana. They murdered her. Murder. Like, it's so stupid. Okay. Let's see. A bunch of kids, the Red Squad. No, I think they're younger than that. Jude Law and a bunch of kids. That's Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Oh my God. Supposedly it's going to tie into the Mandoverse. It's going to be around the same time period, so maybe that will make it interesting in some way. Maybe it'll have some cameos. Like, I could see like that dude. What's his nuts? Who is it? What's the dude's name? Who is in Ahsoka and Mandalorian? The Asian guy, rebel guy. I guess not rebel. New Republic now. I could see him popping in or something like that, but Star Wars Acolyte might be sneaky good. I always forget about that show, but could be interesting. It's supposedly going to be way different than anything else. And Star Wars Tales of the Jedi Season 2 should be out sometime next year as well. I don't know when. Did a full rewatch of Lower Decks last month. Norman says the series holds up for me. It has a so-so pilot, but remember TNG's pilot. Well, I don't know if you recall, but I too have done a rewatch of Lower Decks recently, and I did a video for each season as I rewatched it. And I think very clearly Lower Decks has gotten progressively better each season up to season 3. And then season 4, I have slightly ranked behind season 3. So maybe season 3 is the pinnacle, and then everything else will be around the same quality. But season 2 was a clear improvement over season 1, and season 3 was a big improvement over season 2. Season 1, before episode 8, kind of sucks. Actually, before episode 7, because episode 7 is mediocre. Did I just say season 2? I mean season 1. Season 1, before you get to the end. Season 1 contains my favorite episode of Lower Decks, episode 9, Crisis Point. But prior to that, season 1 kind of sucks ass. So, like, in the beginning of the season, it's not very good. And the first episode, I remember finding parts of it funny that I did not find funny at all on the rewatch, because I've seen what Lower Decks is capable of and how good it actually can be and how funny it actually can be. So what I thought was funny in the first episode when I first saw it, not really that funny once I see what Lower Decks is really capable of. So yeah, first half of season 1 especially kind of sucks ass. Like, let's see. You know, Moopsie needs a live action introduction. Moopsie. Like, I could see that. What else? They're all so shouty in season 1. I suppose. I mean, that's not even. I didn't even notice that. I'm still thinking more like the writing was terrible, and it wasn't as funny. Let's see, and the characters just weren't there yet. Let's see. I liked Moist Vessels, but I get it. It's not really good towards the end of the season, starting with party. It got really good towards the end of the season. Yes, yes, indeed. That's another one my brother and I disagree on. Moist Vessel. Well, there was a Mariner storyline in that one that I did like. But the storyline with Tindy and that dude who's ascending up to see the panda or whatever, worst storyline in Lower Decks other than the Peanut Hamper one. Like that's so bad. It's so awful. It is like one of the worst things I've ever had to suffer through in my life on TV. Not like you know, not actual suffering, but like as far as things that I've had to watch on television. One of the worst things I had to sit through. But the Mariner thing was, and that same episode was good. Let's see. Where I lost my track of where we were. I want to give a super chat, but I'm not sure how. I don't know if you can for me. I don't know. I may not have it set up that way. I don't know. I've never really looked into it. Yeah, you might have to. I might have to do something on my end to make that happen. I don't know. You don't need to give me a super chat. That's fine. Let's see. I do kind of like the koala now, but in that episode, it wasn't the koala that I hated. It was that character and the whole storyline. The whole concept of the story was so dumb. And also, Tindy at that point was really obnoxious. Like how she wanted to please everybody. Like that was she became a better character starting with Crisis Point and then going into season 2 and has become better since then. And the pinnacle of that character is Hero All Trust Nothing in season 3. But she was an obnoxious character in the early part of season 1, and I think Moist Vessel is like the pinnacle of that. Like this is like the prime example of Tindy being an obnoxious character, and that other guy was even worse. So that was so bad. What else? What was the episode where they thought Mariner stitched them up to the journalists? I mean, come on, she wouldn't do them dirty like that. Yeah, that was and that was in season 3. That one, that was one of my least favorite ones in season 3. I didn't love that one. That was the penultimate episode. Blanking on the title, but it was the second to last episode. It was episode 9 of season 3. And I thought the finale recovered nicely, even though the whole thing with them not believing Mariner was dumb. Let's see. Excuse me, Badgie is worse. What's JMO mean? I don't know what JMO means. Yeah, no, Badgie's fine. I don't have any problem with Badgie. What's the big deal about Badgie? Why do people hate Badgie? People hate Badgie or they love Badgie, and I don't either of those things. He's fine. He's just kind of there. Okay. Anyway, and as an Australian, the koala thing pissed me off. Why? Why did that piss you off? Like, I don't know. If it was an American bear, I wouldn't be pissed off. Like, what's the problem? Oh, just my opinion. Trusted sources. Yes, that's the name of it. Thank you, Norman. I knew somebody would come up with the name of it. Let's see. Yeah, everyone likes koalas. What's your problem? What's the problem with it being a koala? Let's see. Drink some wine. Well, guys, might be reaching the end. Might be getting to the end. Do you guys have anything else? Anything. But not Doctor Who and no more Christmas movies or Christmas songs or anything Christmas related. But other than that, why aren't you guys giving me topics? No, I'm kidding. I am teasing. Right here, Brandon is going to give an explanation to why the koala really pisses him off. It's one of our national symbols, and the American are making fun of us again. Really? I don't know. Well, I'm not Australian, so I can't really speak from that point of view. I don't think it is intended to be making fun of Australians. I think they just kind of picked an animal like that people love and that's adorable to be like the spiritual animal that you go like. I don't think it has anything to do with it being Australian. That's my point of view, but I'm not Australian, so I can't really say from that point of view. But that's how I think it was intended. Like, I don't think it was supposed to be making fun of Australians. Let's see. So far, 2024, will this be bi-monthly or quarterly for the live shots or just like that where you feel like when you feel like it? Yeah, the last thing. Whenever I feel like it. And I will I don't know if I'll do like the full announcement video sort of thing, but this is why going on my Facebook is important because that's where I'll post a link to it. And I don't know if I'll do like the actual announcement video or not, but I'll at least make an announcement on my Facebook page, such and such a date, a live stream. Check it out. It's got to be connected to my Alyssa Jean's Facebook page. Let's see. I'm ignoring your comment, Maddie. Okay, Brandon. I can't type fast enough to give you topics. Sorry. Type faster. No, I'm kidding. It's over an hour anyways. You guys have been doing great. You've been doing great giving me topics to talk about. It's been awesome. Let's see. My mother loved koalas. Has nothing to do with where they are from. Yeah, I know. I mean, people love koalas. Like, why can't we love koalas? They're so cute. I love when I'm wearing. Oh, thank you. I got this is like a. So check this out. So it's adjustable. It goes like this. I can also else becomes a hood. I can be a Jedi. These are not the droids you're looking for. So, I got it from one of my favorite online clothing companies called The Warrior Within. Unfortunately, their stuff is insanely expensive, so I only own a couple of items from them, but I love to look at them. And this I got, I got an email for 25% off, and this item was already like 35% off, so I ended up being like $30 or something, which that is as cheap as you'll ever find on that website. Usually things are 100 plus. So I don't usually buy from them, but I do love their clothing. It's always really comfortable. Warrior Within. This is my advertisement. It's super fucking expensive, but they make good clothing. Let's see. Australia gave us koalas, which are awesome, also terrifying spiders and snakes, so balances things out a bit. Let's see. Thank you for waking me up in such a nice way, Karen. Oh yeah, I forget that you wake up to watch these. That's like so weird. Anyways, nobody knows what that is except for my brother. He has quoted that on his videos too. It's like so weird. that is Dana Carvey doing John Travolta in the 80s and 90s Saturday Night Live. He's like, it's so weird. um, let's see. Oh, well, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. We might be winding things down now. Give you guys a second to throw in some last minute thoughts. Maybe start out another conversation before I leave. Maddie Jester, you've proved the point how the rest of the world sees us. Oh, because of the terrifying spiders and snakes? I don't know. We got terrifying snakes here, too. We've got some terrifying fucking animals in the U.S. Scorpions? Like, like having a scorpion in my shoe. Like, that's like, when you go to certain parts of the country, they're like, check your shoes. When you take off your shoes. Fucking scorpions. Not the rock band from the 80s, but actual animal, and not the metaphor that Chakotay gives to Janeway, but the actual animals. Tarantulas, ain't that's in the States, right? Yeah, we got some scary fucking animals here, so I don't know why we have to pick on Australia for scary animals. Let's see. Rattlesnakes. Yeah. Yeah. Grizzly bears. Not brown bears, though. People are like, oh, you're going in the woods, and we've already talked about this on a different live chat. We've had a whole conversation about bears. But yeah, brown bears, black bears, they're more scared of you than you are of them. Let's see, what else? Rock you like a hurricane and no one like you. The song I pointed out was The Winds of Change. And the winds of change. Let's see. The only things terrifying here are the house prices and the rain. Yeah, I don't know how the rain compares to the rain in Oregon, but yeah, rain's here all the time. Yeah, you guys don't have wild animals in England. Like, it was really weird. I did I call it a hike. What do you guys call it? A trek? I don't know. 95-mile hike in Scotland, the West Highland Way, and there was no wild animals. Like, they're just a bunch of goats walking around that were like they were in farm, like, because a lot of the trail goes through these big like farms or whatever. And mountain goats, there probably were mountain goats too, or like wild goats. It wouldn't be mountain goats. Yeah, it would be mountain goats. I don't know. It was goats and sheep and horses. That's what there was. There was no wild animals. But it was weird. Let's see. I thought bears stole the picnickers' food. They stole the picnic baskets. Bears stole the picnic baskets. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, spending Christmas Eve probably with my brother and niece, and then Christmas itself probably I usually like to go for a hike or something, like, and get out of town. Let's see. The most common wild animal in the city in California is a coyote. Yeah, coyotes they run around the city. They're here in Portland too. There's a golf course in the eastern part of Portland that this really huge golf course, and the coyotes live there. Like, when you're I don't go there for golf. It also has a walking trail, so I've been there for the walking trail, and you see coyotes all the time. Let's see. And yes, and I agree with Norman. For pets, yes. For you, no. I had 2 cats eaten by coyotes many years ago. Before I got Sawyer, I had 2 cats, and they were both eaten by coyotes. Uh, Gina's good. She's doing really. Oh, she just reacted. She heard her name. She's off screen over here, but she heard her name and she reacted. Um, she's a good girl over there. Yeah, she always. Yeah, she's really coming out of her shell. She's running around at the off leash parks and having a great time, and she's doing good. She was really shy about that stuff in the beginning. So yeah, she's good. Yeah, she's a happy dog. Um, let's see. What else? I think we're getting toward the end of this live stream, everybody. I think it's winding down. Um, well, I want to go ahead and thank the usual suspects, Brandon, Norman, Maddie, and Will Ferrell, number one, for all coming in and chatting with me and coming up with topics and meeting my demands about what topics they're not allowed to talk about. You guys are very accommodating. I really appreciate that. Um, so, yeah, parrots, I'm not a bird person. Yeah, it's not for me. Birds or fish, not for me personally. I don't begrudge anyone else, but just not my thing. Um, all righty. All right, yeah, this won't be the last one I ever do. I'll let you know when I do it again. It'll be sometime next year, just when I goddamn well feel like it. So it will not be in January, but after that, who knows? All right, everybody, good to see you and have a great weekend. Yes, and happy holidays and all that stuff. And see you all soon. Goodbye.